Hi, my name's John, and I'm one of the web guys. I'd like to tell you about our amazing product that I'm certain you'll love. There are lots of companies out there who offer website and business tools, from the very cheap do-it-yourself to the very expensive bespoke products. What we offer at the Web Guys is a unique package that we're sure will cater to all your business's needs. We'll deliver a world-class website that's created specifically for you and your business and with everything you need to manage it. It's so simple. All you have to do is choose a look and we'll do everything else. We'll design, build, set up and customize your website for you. You'll get that agency quality product from £29.99 a month and with no upfront fees to pay. To take advantage of our fantastic product, go to www.thewebguys.co.uk and simply click the Sign Up Now button and follow the instructions, which will only take a few minutes of your valuable time. Once you're done, you'll get all this plus lots more, and from only £29.99 per month. So, what are you waiting for?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our little live show here today. This is a world first. We've never been live before on Facebook and YouTube like this. And so for everyone who's joining us, thank you for joining us and welcome. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by Amanda from Dragon Virtual Assistant. And she has kindly agreed to be my little guinea pig today because this is our very first time being live. So good morning, Amanda, and thank you very much for joining me. And would you like to introduce yourself to the world?
Well, morning, Brian, and thank you for asking me to be your guinea pig. Maybe you should have told me up front I was going to be a guinea pig instead of springing that on me. Yeah, I'm Amanda from Dragon Virtual Assistants. I am, as you can guess, a virtual assistant, but I specialise particularly in marketing support. So I help with social media and email marketing and kind of really anything else that markets and promotes your business.
Fabulous. And it's absolutely wonderful to have you here today. Now, we're going to have a little sort of informal chat about especially email marketing. Amanda is an expert in that field. So we're going to talk about email marketing in general and perhaps talk about a couple of specific products. So for anyone who sort of have any questions, there is a chat function available that if you have any questions as we go along, please feel free to post a comment or question into that, and we'll try our hardest. We can't promise you that we can answer every question that might come in or anything, but if we don't know the answer to it, then we'll take it away and then we'll post it on our social media as the day go by, and when we do find the answers that we don't know. So let's dive into it, Amanda. Email marketing, it's certainly something that we do as a business. I know that you do it because I get your emails, and I know you do it for other people as well. So I think it's, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's a little bit of a lost art form because everyone is so used to being on Facebook and Instagram that they perhaps neglect email marketing. Would you agree?
I think you're right, Brian. Yes, I think most people just flick a few posts out to Facebook and Instagram and Bob's your uncle. But what we discovered last year at the start of the pandemic was that the amount of noise on Facebook rose so much because suddenly everybody had more time to post to Facebook that people started looking around for new ways to market themselves. And the new way that they found was actually an old way, which was to start emailing their lists and their contacts and their previous customers.
It's interesting. It's very interesting, isn't it? Because I've even because before this pandemic, stuff that came from my letterbox, I would rarely pay any attention to it. Email that came in, not really, but I'm even finding myself looking at the stuff that comes from my letterbox now. So I think it is a resurgence of some of these old lost art forms, really. So yeah, I agree.
I have actually received a very beautiful letter in the last week that has this lovely embossed wax thingamy-bobamy on the back, which is quite exciting. So I think yes, that's also coming back.
Shows people make an effort, really, isn't it? And it's more than just a post on social media. It's someone actually taking the time, making an effort, creating something, isn't it?
Yes, I agree.
So just to get back to the email marketing thing. So we as a business, we use it in two ways. We use it for newsletters that we send out last Monday of every month at the same time. I think that's important. Would you agree?
Consistency is yes. Show when you're expected, isn't it?
It is. I'll admit that there's probably about 5 or 6 emails that comes through an email marketing system that I consistently read every month, because I know that they come in at the same time and I'm sort of used to them coming. So I sort of look out for them a little bit.
Yeah. So I obviously I do my own. I'm not always consistent with that, sadly, I have to confess, but mostly because I'm so busy consistently sending my clients.
Yeah.
Most of the purpose of email marketing, A, is to get to know people and to let people get to know you. But B, and more importantly, send them back to your website.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you think of your website as a shop, your email newsletter is almost the banner in your shop window.
Absolutely. It's generating that interest and moves them across to the website to look in further, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we use them for newsletters, as I just said. We also use email marketing in lead generation. So if we have a bunch of leads, we would then nurture those leads by using our email marketing. Now, I'll profess and confess to you that I'm not the one who sets up the autoresponders and the sort of the strings. Do you want to sort of just tell people how that would work? So, because it's not just one email, it's a string of emails, and then how you handle how people react to the emails, isn't it?
It is, yes. And in actual fact, the best platform that I've seen for doing this at the moment is the new and up and coming MailerLite platform. You go into their automation area, you set up your email, you set up a delay before the next email, and then you create a delay and then a third email. And then after you've sent a series of emails, then you set up an action that splits. And that's really clever. And it's so simple in there that you can say, okay, if any of the people that received the last email clicked on a link, then now send them this email. And if they didn't, send them this email and put them back through a different sequence, because the previous one obviously didn't work.
Yeah.
You can do that in other packages. With MailChimp, you use segmenting and tagging, but MailerLite is just made it seamless. It's so incredibly easy. I love it. As more clients I can push into MailerLite, the better right now.
No, that's fantastic. Obviously, there's a few different platforms out there that's available. So I think for me, when I look at these things and not being the best at operating things, I think what sort of puts me off doing it myself is a lot about is how technically you set it up. Yeah. So how do you go from one email to the next, and yes, no, all that sort of rejection handling and all that kind of stuff. It seems quite complex on the face of it, getting it all set up. Is that wrong?
It is wrong. Yes. Yeah, it is. But I don't know if I find it simple because I know how to do it.
Maybe.
It's hard for me to say now, because I sent out my very first MailChimp email in 2012, and I found it in my archives the other day and thought, oh my goodness, I can't believe I actually sent that to people. It's just so old-fashioned looking. I might turn it into a PDF and send it out to people as an example of what it used to be like.
That's probably a good idea. That's probably not a bad idea at all.
But yes, I mean, technology's developed and improved, and all the platforms have kept up and made life easier for you. And it's and they've got great help videos and tutorials if you get really stuck, or people like me.
Yeah, absolutely. And this kind of email marketing, we've been using these kinds of systems for many years, and they've come a long way. They really have. They are a lot simpler to use yourself, even if you don't have a deep level of knowledge into these things. They are a lot easier, and they can look really nice. As I was sharing a screen there, you can see some of the templates that these softwares offers. I remember back in the day when we used to create these templates for people and we would charge money to create them. There's no need for that anymore, because these softwares comes with so many beautiful templates that there's really no excuse for not having a really nice looking email going out from one of these systems.
There isn't, no. And when you throw Canva into the mix, there's another free platform where you can create beautiful graphics and then upload them into your emails.
Yeah.
You can make it beautiful, personalized. Please know your hex codes for your colors and your branding, and make everything branded to you. And then when somebody goes from the email to the website, they know they're still in the right place.
Yeah, it just looks like a flawless transition, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's great. So there's obviously there's different kinds of these products out there. You just mentioned MailerLite. You mentioned Mailchimp before.
Mm-hmm.
We actually use a different product as well called Woodpecker. I don't know if you've heard about Woodpecker.
I heard it, the name mentioned quite recently, and I've actually been meaning to go and explore it.
It's quite significantly different from
Yes.
your Mailchimp and your MailerLite, from the fact that so just to explain a little bit to the audience. So when you use a system like MailerLite or Mailchimp, you are taking advantage of the fact that you are using their hosting and hosting base to send out your emails from, which really means that you are protected from being blocked as a spammer. So MailChimp takes that on their shoulders. They put certain rules and regulations in place, so you can't send to certain types of email addresses from their platforms, and that's to sort of try and help protect themselves from being blocked as spammers as well. But because you're not using your own domain sending out from those platforms, you can virtually send 20,000 emails every day and not get blocked as a spammer. So that's one of the big advantages of using one of these big email platforms to send from. Woodpecker works very differently. It uses your domain, so your email address, to send out the emails that you send out. So when you send a campaign out through Woodpecker, it doesn't say by MailChimp or MailerLite down at the bottom. You can actually add your own footer that you have in your own personal footer, because it is your email address that the system is using to send out the campaigns. You set up the campaigns in the same way as you do in MailerLite and MailChimp, but with the main difference, it comes from you directly. So it has a more personal touch to it, which when it comes to lead generation, we've found is really, really quite powerful. Just sort of to share a little bit of info now. In the past, when we send out to leads, we would have perhaps a 2 to 5% open rates on them on average. If we send out 20,000 emails, we might get an open rate of about 5%. When we're doing it from Woodpecker, we are seeing open rates all the way up to 25%. That's a huge difference, massive, massive difference. And we think that is because you have that more personal. It just seems like it's coming from a real person. You're not just part of a big mail dump that goes out to the masses. It actually looks like you've taken time to send this person a direct message saying, I'm here, are you interested in having a conversation, type of thing. So that's the main sort of difference between Woodpecker and all these other ones. It's significantly more expensive as well. Woodpecker is about twice the cost of MailChimp.
Right.
Yeah, so there's obviously a cost involved, but because the open rate are so much higher, I think certainly for lead generation, it's certainly justified in that. So I can thoroughly recommend. They're very different though. When we do campaigns using Woodpecker, we're only sending out 100 emails a day instead of, let's say, 20,000 emails. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're using your own email address, you can actually get blocked for spamming.
Yes.
So protect from that means that you need to Woodpecker itself as a system limits you to 500 emails a day.
Right.
We limited it even more down to 100. Because
yes, I think I'd heard that kind of anything over 300 would kind of get you flagged up as a problem person. But
there's a logistic thing as well, because in effect, using Woodpecker, you are sending them an email from you. And if you were extraordinarily successful, then that would mean that you would have 100 replies in a day. Even at 25%, means you get 25 replies, and you then have to go in and reply to them again. So from a time point of view, if you send out 100 a day, that's a lot of messages that you have to obviously deal with, because you don't want to send them a message and then not reply to them if they reply you back, do you? So
no, I mean you can use some of the platforms and make it look like it's come from you. Once you've verified your email address, put some code into the headers of your website, and they've verified your business. I think I saw something recently about something to do with DNS servers that you probably know more about than me, Brian. And when you've been going for a while and you've proved yourself, then you do have the option to take off their branding. And or when you're paying them a lot of money for the service rather than using the free level, you can take off their branding. You can still make it look like it comes from you. The email arrives in their inbox from you rather than from them. And there's no MailChimp or MailerLite badges on there to give it away.
Fine.
But it takes a while to get up to that level. Sure.
What would you say using these systems would be the sort of the maximum volumes you would want to send out? Is there one? Is there a maximum volume?
Well, there isn't, because the email platform then splits it down for you and batches it. So the maximum volumes basically in MailChimp, to stay on a free account, and I think a lot of people like to start with a free account, you have a maximum of 2,000 email names in your audience, and you can send a maximum of 10,000 emails a month, which means you can email each of those people 5 times.
Sure.
That's right, isn't it? My math's right.
Yeah.
And in MailerLite, it's a similar setup. I don't actually have the knowledge of that one seared in my brain the way I do with MailChimp. But again, there's a level of email addresses that you can hold in your audience before you have to start paying, and a number of emails that you can send per month.
Yeah.
You can tell MailerLite's my new shiny thing.
Yeah.
So I've just recently finished the MailerLite Academy, and I'm just learning all about it. And I think it's quite an amazing platform, particularly at the free level. And like I say, a lot of people, when they're starting out, when they're a smaller business, they want to start with the free tools that they can find and then build up. If they're seeing really good returns on their regular email campaigns, then it might be worth stepping up and starting to pay for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. So this might be a loaded question and you might not want to answer it, and that's fine. But what kind of return do you see on the campaigns you run on it? Between 10 and up to 40% open rates. There's 2 variables. One is the type of business and how engaged their audience is, and the other is the type of emails you're sending. And if you're sending kind of emails to people that haven't necessarily originally signed up to receive them but haven't bothered to unsubscribe, that you're not going to see. You know, you could have a massive list and only 5% engaged. But I'm happy with 20 to 30% on campaigns. I would say anything above 15% is great. You know, I think that's definitely something you can work with, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it gives you so much that you can then go on and keep resending and give them it's a fantastic thing. It really is. It's very much underutilized.
It's worth fiddling with the day that you send out your email. It's worth fiddling with the time.
Do you find that
what gets better?
Do you find that for different industries, different times are better than others?
Yes.
Is there? Can you say, like, okay, on a Monday it's accountancy day, or on a Tuesday it's plumber's day, or is it that?
Well, I would say that on a Monday at 8:30, I send out an email every single week for an accountant, and they have a good open rate. Right. And I've also had other people that have come to me on the back of seeing that regular email and say, "Can you do one for me?" Because I've read this one for this person and it's good and it's consistent, and I like that it always turns up in my inbox on Monday at 8:30 and I can read it before I start my day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I do something for somebody that's in the health and wellness industry, and we send that out at 6 o'clock in the evening, because at that sort of time, that's when people have sat down on the sofa and they've got time to have a quick look at an email about their health and wellness that's popped up on their phone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If you read articles, they say Thursday's the best day. Monday's not a good day because everybody's planning their week. Friday's not a good day because everybody's switched off, ready for the weekend. Thursday's your day for sending emails.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do you do a lot of research on this before you send them out, or is it like a trial and error?
If they've already been running email campaigns before I come along, I'll have a look at their previous stats. I do read up and research. It's one of those things that I enjoy finding out about, and then I like to be able to share that knowledge myself with my own clients, because it puts me in a position where I want to be. That, Amanda knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, of course. No, this is great stuff, Amanda. I think it's definitely something that every business needs to have as part of their product. Is this something that you do courses in?
I'm sorry, Brian.
There's a bit of an echo there.
Yeah, I just missed that.
Do you do courses in this?
I do. So at the start of lockdown last year, I actually offered a 30-minute one-to-one tutorial with people where we would jump on a Zoom and do a screen share, and I would go through their problems with them. And what I found at the end of that was an awful lot of people said, wow, it's more complicated than I thought. Can I do that? Can you do that for me? So whereas I'd intended it to be a service, it actually turned out to be a lead gen. And I've now recorded an hour-long video, which is available on my membership site for people to buy and download and just go through on their own.
That's fantastic. Everyone website is
no, it's not. I've got a member vault membership site, but I am looking at changing that, so I might be in touch with John soon.
That's great. So listen, everyone out there, everyone needs to do email marketing. There's no doubt about it. Amanda's an absolute powerhouse in this. She's fantastic. So even if you just want her to show you how to do it, please go to Amanda's website, on her social media, and get in contact with her if you want to do her course, see her video, or ask her any questions about this. Amanda, I don't want to take more of your time. You've been absolutely wonderful. We've been chatting on for about 15 minutes now, and I just want to say thank you for joining me. This is, again, it's our very first Web Guys Live, and I'm so happy that we had this chat. Thank you.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Brian. I've enjoyed it.
That's good. So everyone out there, I think this will be available to view as a video after. If not, then we will download it and make it available to you both on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. So have a great Wednesday out there, everyone. Again, thank you, Amanda, and take care, everyone.
Bye.